Hey fam, it's me, Aaron.
Triforce Mike.
And we're here to talk to you about comic books like we do every week. You know, it's a little thing we do. It's kind of fun. We read everything.
Oh my god.
And there's things we love and there's things we don't like. And the things we don't like, we choose not to talk about. It's really cool that way.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh well. So anyway, Nemesis. I love Nemesis 1. I liked everything Mark Miller's ever done.
Yes.
There's things I like better than others.
Right.
And what I didn't really get with a lot of the criticism of this was, you know, there was no relatable characters, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't like Kick-Ass.
Right.
Well, Kick-Ass is Kick-Ass and this is something different. Why would the creator do the same thing twice, you know? And this, when read in tandem with this second issue, which it'll all be the 4 issues in a collection, is just front-loaded. That's all it is. It's front-loaded hyper-violence. Yeah. Kind of like James Bond. All right, so front-loaded, like, blah, big old race, you know, blah, 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 chase scene. All this is crazy violence, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Some people didn't. This has a lot of that action, but it also has a ton of backstory and a ton of characterization. Right. And you really get who he is, what motivates him, who his parents are, how it's all connected to the top cop he's trying to take out. Yes. Everything is spelled out and spoon-fed to you. Right. And
why the book is called Nemesis.
It's good. It is good. So, I don't know. I like this a lot. I like this too. Together, I think even some of the people that didn't like this will like it with this. Other people, you know, maybe they just shouldn't buy Mark Miller stuff. Right. You know, maybe they shouldn't. I don't. Them. You know, I like hyper violence from time to time. It's fun, especially when I'm constipated. It just makes the bowels drop. You know? Just so. It. Case in point. Side note: make sure you read Mark Miller on the toilet. Yeah, because if you don't and you poop yourself, it's in your pants. If you're on the toilet, that's where it's supposed to be.
Well, see, what I do is I put a plastic sheet over my crotch because I'm gonna have white in the front and chocolate in the back. So you know, I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't want.
You don't want it everywhere. I mean, you can only aim one in the toilet at a time. So other than that, Mark Miller is doing Avengers Ultimate, and great team. I like Gangster Hulk better than anything. That's fun. You know, the team actually has a 5-member team with 3 black characters, which is crazy. I'm sure that's a milestone and has never been done before. And Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is not taking out thugs. He's not taking out carnies. He's not doing like weird stuff like he's done in the Marvel Universe. What he's doing is vengeance on those that escape vengeance. And who is that? Fortune 500 people. Yeah. People that can buy their way through the justice system. Yes. If Ghost Rider from the Ultimate Universe was here right now today, he would have killed the guy that runs BP. I have no doubt after reading this. Yes. So you might really like this. If you've never liked Ghost Rider before, you might really like it. And if you did like Ghost Rider, I don't see why you wouldn't, unless you just don't like anything different. But it's Ultimate, so swallow that pill. Avengers Academy, my favorite book of the week. Surprised me. I love Christos Gage. He knows it. Everyone knows it. But in the solicits for this, it's just these, you know, new characters.
Weird
it's like
new characters.
5 new characters and Reptile, who I never liked. Anyway. Yeah. And I knew that he would make me like these characters because just his characterization, his blah, blah, blah. I knew he would. But still, you know, I was like, what is this Academy? And I read it, and it's like Xavier's School. And these are not the best and the brightest. These are the feared and hated. These are the ones that were so badly mistreated by Osborn that they could go the other way. Yeah. They aren't going to be the next Cap. They're going to be the next Red Skull unless these teachers intervene. And the ones who intervene are all damaged heroes. It's Hank Pym, who beat his wife. Right. It's Justice, who killed his dad. Right. It's Speedball, who penance and blamed himself for the whole Stanford thing. And Tigra, who had all that trouble with the Hood and whether she was going to kill him. And then Quicksilver, who, you know, his dad's a terrorist and he's flip-flopped back and forth, good and bad. And that's the book. That's what it is. Yeah. And it was great. So, and beyond that, Shield, Hickman, great, well-researched. Very heady. Nostradamus is in it. Obviously, Leonardo da Vinci, and he is Renaissance Iron Man. He is the first Iron Man. He's in a flying iron suit. He is the first Iron Man. Yeah. If you think that this is too dumbed down and too much violence and blah, 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 you need to be reading this. Because if you say this is too dumb for you, but you're not reading this, then your point's almost moot because this is the smart book you should be reading if you didn't like this. Yeah. I personally like them both, but, you know, I like, you know, peanut butter and milk. So anyway, Batman 700, it's a milestone issue. It's Grant Morrison back. So Grant Morrison's back, and it's Bruce, it's Dick, it's Damian, it's Beyond. And it's, you know, it's a good milestone. Titans, everyone knows that I had the big fun thing with the Agents and Matchboxes, and, you know, this is just the continuation of that. And Now you got like bullet for baldies. So, you know, I'm not going to take up the case of bald white men and Lex Luthor and champion them. I don't care if Deathstroke takes them out. So we'll see. And I'm excited to read this one. I haven't read this yet, but just figured I should let you guys know since I did that whole big deal with the Asians and Matchboxes.com. And Justice League, Generation Lost. With issue 2, I actually yelled the F word out loud as I was reading it. What Maxwell Lord's done to the legacy of Ted Kord. Ted Kord is my favorite character. He had a great death, and now they're taking that away from him. And I just think this is just foreshadowing. Dan DiDio is telling me, don't worry, Aaron. Ted Kord's going to be back. And Jaime will still be there, but he's going to change his new moniker to Spanish Fly. So that's, you know, that's what I'm getting out of this. And if you're reading this and you're not reading Booster, it's one of the same writers.
Yes.
You got Giffen on this, you got Giffen on that. You got Booster on this, you got Booster on that. This is the peanut butter. That's the milk to wash it down with.
Yeah.
So if you're really liking this, you owe it yourself to try that.
Yes.
And read it in tandem. If you're not liking it, then don't get either of them. Yeah, and that's what it is.
That's fine.
Irredeemable, my favorite Boom book. Mark Waid, love him. Ted Kord.
Oh my God.
And you know, you got this bad guy. You know, he used to be good. He's sitting there. He has these bloody hands. And I just see it now as a big OJ thing. Before I thought it was Mark Miller working out his whole midlife crisis.
Mark Waid.
Oh yeah, Mark Waid working out his midlife crisis. But now I think it's all just this thing about OJ. How he was this great, you know, sports star, and then he became what he was. And, you know, just like that, Plutonian will not rest until he finds the real killers. And, you know, and the dollar books, our favorite, Deadpool. If you haven't read Deadpool, you want to know what all the fuss is about, get it for $1. If you have, then don't get it. If you hate Deadpool with a passion, don't even get it for $1.
Yeah.
Because, yes, there's a lot of Deadpool books, but they sell. And if you don't like them, just ignore them all. Yeah. Because you don't live in the Marvel Universe. You don't have to interact with Deadpool. If you don't like Deadpool, just don't get anything he's in. And that's the end of it.
I like Deadpool.
Yeah, he's fun. And Jack of Fables, dollar book. A lot of people read Fables and don't read Jack.
I don't know why. It's probably because they don't like Jack.
No, I think they were just following. They thought it was something to do with 24. No, but I think they were just following it in the graphic novels, and they didn't know when to get into it. Blah blah blah. And then they got volume 13 here with the crossover, and they read some Jack issues, and you know, then they look back like, oh man, there's 7 volumes. Yeah, I'll get to that later.
The crossover only really makes sense if you've read Jack.
Now it's later. Now is later because you can get this for $1, and if you do like it, if you like this test, this taste test, then get volumes 1 through 6, 7, whatever's out, and have yourself a good time. And that's it, man. Jack's cool. Deadpool's a fool. Mike's crass and weird. And I don't know. I'm just stupid. But thanks for watching. Bye-bye.